Yes, my Pedigree Chums, welcome to the Kayfabe Fashion Mash-up, a video series where we have a mooch back at the attire of wrestling superstars from yesteryear and using the power of hindsight, figure out if we can create the final evolved form of these somewhat forgotten athletes. We hope to see if a hybrid of their former gimmicks manifested into one would have skyrocketed them to the lofty heights of a Hunter Hearst helmet, a stunning Stone Cold, Thunder Lips, or simply created a convoluted cacophony of clothing crimes. If they had only mixed up their get-up, grasped the brass, and harnessed the power of an overqualified seamstress, could their careers have taken a different path? And would Headbanger Mosh vs. The Rock have headlined WrestleMania X7 as it rightfully should have? When you envisage the superstars that made the cut, we can all typically muster the same image in our mind's eye. Take Steve Austin, for example. Black trunks, black waistcoat, the narrow goatee, it's the sexy John Virgo look. Bret Hart, Peril in pink. Big Johnny Cena, jorts and multicoloured armbands, or even Billy Goldberg, nothing but pants. When we take the typical mid-carder, El Snow for example, what do you see? El Snow from 98 wearing the black and white Job Squad shirt, 96 El Snow with a black and blue leotard, or even 2000's El Snow, blue leggings and snowmen. In 9 times out of 10 cases, for the distinctly average performer, the wrestling style didn't change, the promos didn't even change. So was the costume the culprit for a life of mid-cardery? Well, no, of course not. It was the absence of politicking backstage, but play the game, eh? Having trudged through a back catalogue of Palmer's storied wardrobe, we pick out the best of the worst, make a selection from the smorgasbord they've indulged us with over the years, and illustrate them in their final release date form. So, for the first and maybe only time, without further ado, join me as we bear witness to the tremendous sights that adorn the flesh of Bob Holly. Bob Holly, version 1. The spark plug years. Joining the Fed after a stint in Cornette's Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Holly was given the gimmick of a NASCAR driver come wrestler, thanks to a real-life passion for driving cars around in Asda car parks. However, the passion for the donut does not forgive this neon ensemble Thurman would wear. A regular Dale Earnhardt he ain't, and that's a man who knew which side of his toast was buttered. Posing as a good old southern boy, his outfit tells us everything and almost nothing all at once. A Schrodinger's cat of a costume. The checkerboard elbow and knee pads hint at a sports-related theme. Maybe we're aiming for a mustachioed legend Nigel Mansell. Maybe a chess grandmaster in Gary Kasparov. Either way, we will never know what the checkerboard meant. This Ribena fiasco look is complemented with a bloody great big number 7 emblazoned on his clearly rippled torso and outer thigh, reinforcing a sports-related backstory. Peculiarly, the seamstress also found necessary to offer an insight into Thurman's appreciation for mutual oral satisfaction, with the inclusion of a 69 on flame background just above the knee. Speed, adrenaline, the thrill of the ride, all neatly combined in this bingo caller's fever dream. Finally, and a subject which I'm sure we'll broach on many an occasion throughout this series, it's the do, the barnet, the hair, in this case, the mullet. With a respectable fringe, not dissimilar to that found on a young boy's head during their first day of school, this magnificent brown bitch around the back oozes, look at me, I'm on the VIP list. Bask in the greatness of Bob the Spark. Version 2. Bob Holly and his appreciation for numbers. The year is 1995. Bob, accompanied by his little friend the 123 Kid, have surprisingly become tag team champions by beating the dastardly Bam Bam Bigelow and Hill Tatanka. The neon colours have been dropped, but the offcuts from Coco Beware's shell suits have been maintained, and Bob means business. This long-legged singlet is a simple yet flirty black and white number, perfect for a summer ball with friends, a steamy evening of cocktails with your boss after work, or hen-do with the girls at a Yates's wine lodge. His intentions are clear. Bob wants all the attention on him as he proudly peacocks around that ring. He's here for the number 1 spot. Bob is ready to take pole. Whilst this anti-colour ensemble is clearly a washing machine's deepest fear, Bob keeps his passion for numbers on thighs alive and well, with a jolly nod to his former self. The number 27 proudly adorns his leg once again, a strong reminder of his NASCAR passion. Maybe it was written in the stars a million miles away, or simply the numbers OG Bob held in such high regard that brought him to another numbers guy in the 123 Kid. Again, we can only speculate what brought this pairing together. What we do know, however, is that this team of Sparky and the Kid dropped the belts the very next night to the Smoking Guns. To the casual fan, this title will live as long in the memory as the outfit, but still one unforgettable night of passion neither of these two studs will ever forget about.
Oh yeah!
Version 3. Bob Holly's Golden Years. We're doing the time warp here, folks, and flying to the future. It's 1998, would you believe? The company, still the Federation. The name, Bombastic Bob, and you can evidently see why. Leaving the numbers and race car in the dust, the team of Bob and Butterbean's personal punch bag, Bodacious Bart Gun, were thrown together with Jim Cornette as part of the newly invented New Midnight Express. This is the team that pisses on the original's heritage, as the pleasing magenta-toned trunks and leggings formerly worn by Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane have been dropped. I don't doubt that the Hearts had something to say in this decision, having clearly monopolised the pink game by this stage anyway. More tag team titles would follow with the acquisition of the NWA tag team title belts, and here we see Bob and Bart wearing matching royal blue leggings with a flash of gold to reflect the gold around their waists. Whilst this is a new direction for Bob, having finally dropped any upper body sheathing, these matching legging combos clearly highlight that Bob can't escape his storied NASCAR heritage, as the lightning flash is evidently stolen from yet another racing legend, Bob Holly's arch nemesis, Lightning McQueen. On to happier news. The mullet is rejuvenated with even more gold for this upstart team, featuring a joyful yet innocent blonde streak of youth amid waves of vitality. Version 4. The Job Squad. Bob Holly's getting his shit together and his career back on track with this Tesco value range NWO inspired pairing of vest and short shorts. This is a member of the Job Squad along with El Snow, Scorpio, the Big Blue and Lil Dwayne Gilberg. No golds on the horizon for a while for poor old Bob, but I guess that comes part and parcel with narrowing down the colour palette to black and white again. Whether rocking the white text on black vest or inverted colour scheme, this entire ensemble screams, nothing flash, just show that cash. With all attention on the clothing side of Bob's character, his mullet is unfortunately in a state of disrepair. The business in the front has fallen into administration. The odd strands atop Bob's dome act as indistinguishable IT technicians which still skulk around the office, furiously tugging on their RJ45s. Back to Break Disc Bobby and the white boots. The chalk to this blackboard acts as a refreshing mood changer, implying that Bob will still kick your backside, but flash his pearly whites whilst doing so. There is, however, an air of Buffalo Bill to this look, with the brooding outfit hinting at the badass nature which would follow Bobby and his career. Version 5. Hardcore Bob Holly. We are finally at Bob's iconic look, and what this SOB sees when he pictures the B.O.B. In this 2000s form, Bob Holly's days of vicarious living are over. He's no longer the willing recipient of an arse pummeling and laying down for cash. This time, he's gone hardcore. This is a minimal look for booster seat Bob, and seemed to be the missing ingredient to help jumpstart his career again with multiple runs as a hardcore champion, a program against the Big Show as the Big Shot, and stop-start runs against the likes of the Armbrake Kid, Kurt Angel, and the Neckbreak Kid, Brock Lesnar. The blue and pink trunks pay homage to his earlier, less successful incarnations, and feature an inverted V design, a stark contrast to the tapered V physique this muscled beast possesses. These trunks also include a pleasing black modesty patch that other less discernible, lycra-clad lads frequently prefer to neglect for some reason. With little more to offer besides the odd elbow or knee pad thrown in there, you can judge the success of this outfit when you consider these were the trunks worn in an underdog victory with Cousin Crash against the Rock and Sock Connection for even more tag team gold, would you believe? With Function furiously shafting any fashion in this outfit, Bob has streamlined his appearance further and dragged his haircut kicking and screaming into the new millennium. The once mouth-watering mullet has been Control-X'd and Control-V'd with a simple grade 1 all over. And just like that, that was Bob Holly's career in clothing. Let's take the bones out of that meat and gravy and create Bob in his final form.
Final form.
In this final form, Holly maintains his need for garish colours, with its luminescent yellow, or poor man's gold, half trunk, half girdle monstrosity, which is accented with the beloved checkerboard detailing. The ever-present lightning bolts return too, in colours reminiscent of his hardcore days, and point aggressively at Bobby's bits. His knee pads feature his favourite numbers, and because it's not only Lesnar that gets to wear his sponsors' emblems, Bob proudly shows off his love for the premium oil Castrol GTX. In freak instances, which would create great disappointment for both WWF's 1998's Brawl for All tournament, as well as a legitimate fisticuff with a bear, Holly is honoured by this in his wearing of the coveted boxing gloves. The spark plugs are fully firing in final form Bob as the electricity pulses through his veins. The other most electrifying man in sports entertainment. Taking the throne as leader of the Bob Squad, the rightful name change is complemented with even more random numbers, along with patented ass-kicking white boots. Mullet. In summary, I doubt that this attire would win him any world championships, but at least he's finally getting his hands on that arrogant little shithead, Lightning McQueen. In behaviour not least expected from this muscled man mountain us mere mortals simply refer to as Bob. Hope you enjoyed episode 1 of the Kayfabe Fashion Mash-up. Give it a thumbs up, find me on the Twitters and show off your creation, and tune in next time.
Peace.